The storm that night was unlike anything I had ever seen. Thunder growled across the sky. Rain poured so hard it felt like needles stabbing through my coat, and the streets were eerily empty. Except for him. A man, tall, lean, with eyes too sharp for someone standing helplessly under the rain. He wasn't begging for help, he wasn't waving for a ride, he was just watching. Standing motionless, as if he had been waiting for me. I should have kept walking. But something inside me, some strange, magnetic pull, made me stop. "Here," I said, handing him my umbrella. "You'll freeze out here." His lips curved into a smile that wasn't entirely comforting. "You'll regret giving me this," he said quietly. A chill ran down my spine. And before I could respond, he walked away, vanishing into the storm. Days passed. I forgot about the strange man, or at least I convinced myself I had. Life was busy. I had just gotten engaged to Adrian, the kind of man every girl dreams of. Handsome, successful, charming, from an elite family. But what no one knew was this: Adrian's father. A name that echoed like a ghost in every room but never appeared. People called him a reclusive billionaire. Some said he lived abroad, some whispered he was dead, and others swore he was insane. But no one really knew. Adrian never talked about him. Whenever I asked, he changed the subject. And me? I was too in love to care. 2 months later, on a freezing December evening, I saw him again. The umbrella man. This time in a coffee shop. He wasn't wet, he wasn't helpless. He was sitting like he owned the place, a cup of black coffee in hand, staring straight at me as if he'd been expecting me. I froze. He raised the umbrella I had given him. "Yours," he said, placing it on the table beside him. My throat tightened. How do you?" He leaned forward. "You're marrying Adrian." "Don't." The air left my lungs. "Who are you?" Instead of answering, he slid a folded piece of paper across the table. "Read this before you say yes at the altar. Trust me or don't, but once you know, there's no turning back." Before I could stop him, he left. Again. I didn't want to open it. For days, it burned in my purse like a secret begging to be revealed. Finally, late one night, when I couldn't sleep, I unfolded it. Inside were photos, documents, names, dates. They showed Adrian. And things I couldn't even believe: fraud, hidden accounts, illegal deals, whispered ties to people who had disappeared. But the worst? A single sentence scrawled at the bottom. "His father isn't absent. He's watching." I should have walked away. I should have confronted Adrian. But my heart didn't listen to my mind. The wedding day came, lavish, grand, the kind of fairy tale everyone envied. Guests filled the hall. Cameras flashed. My dress shimmered under the lights. And just as the ceremony was about to begin, the doors burst open. It was him, the umbrella man. But this time, he wasn't just a stranger. He was dressed in an immaculate black suit, his presence commanding silence. Guests turned, whispers spread like fire. Adrian's face drained of color. "Father," he muttered. The world spun. "Father?" He walked straight to me, ignoring Adrian. His voice was steady, chilling. "You deserve to know before you tie yourself to him." He handed me another envelope. "This one is thicker, heavier." Inside were contracts. Blood-stained ledgers. Pictures of Adrian with people I recognized from news scandals. Men accused of murders, disappearances, corruption. "Adrian isn't just a businessman," the man said, his voice cutting through the silence. "He's dangerous. And I know, because I built the empire he's destroying. I am the father he pretends doesn't exist. And I cannot allow you to become his next victim." Gasps filled the hall. Guests rose, murmuring in horror. Adrian's perfect mask shattered. "Don't listen to him. He's insane," he shouted, grabbing my arm. But when I looked into Adrian's eyes, I saw it. Fear. Not of losing me, of being exposed. My chest heaved. My entire world was crumbling. One man claimed to love me. Another man, his estranged father, had just blown up everything. "Choose carefully," the father whispered, his piercing gaze locked on mine. "Because marrying him means burying yourself alive." Adrian's grip tightened. "Don't you dare." I looked at both men, the fiancé I thought I knew, and the father who had stalked me from the shadows to protect me. My hands shook as I reached for the ring on my finger, and in that moment, I realized this wedding wasn't the beginning of my life. It was the end of a lie. I dropped the ring. The hall erupted. Adrian's face twisted in rage. His father stepped between us. Security rushed forward. And as chaos broke loose around me, I knew only one thing for certain. The storm I had walked into months ago wasn't weather. It was destiny, and it had just begun. The wedding hall dissolved into chaos. Guests screamed, glasses shattered on the marble floor, and flashes from cameras blinded me like lightning strikes. Adrian lunged at his father, shouting, his voice raw with rage. "You ruined everything. You had no right and oh right." Security guards struggled to pull him back, but he fought like a man cornered by his own truth. Meanwhile, his father, calm, unshaken, kept his eyes locked on me. "You made the right choice," he said firmly. "Now you need to leave. Tonight. With me." My breath caught. Leave? With him? The man who had haunted me like a shadow? I wanted to run, but my legs refused. My world, my family, my future, all collapsed in a single moment. Suddenly, the lights cut out. The entire hall plunged into darkness. Screams erupted. In the chaos, a hand grabbed mine. "Strong, steady. Come with me," the father's voice whispered. Before I could resist, he pulled me through a side door, down a narrow corridor lit only by emergency lights. My heels clicked against the tiles, echoing like a heartbeat. We burst out into the cold night air. Rain poured again, as if the storm itself had returned to finish what it started. A black car waited. The driver flung the door open. "In," the father ordered. I hesitated. "Why should I trust you?" He leaned close, his eyes dark but steady. "Because the people chasing you now won't give you a choice." Behind us, shouts echoed. Adrian's voice. "Hunting me." I slid into the car. Hours later, I found myself in a dimly lit mansion on the edge of the city. Bookshelves towered over the walls, a fireplace flickered, and old portraits stared down at me. "This was once my home," the father said, shrugging off his coat. "Before Adrian's mother poisoned everything." I blinked. "You mean she's alive?" His expression hardened. "Alive, yes. But not innocent. She raised him into the man you almost married. And now, the empire I built, the one I walked away from, is soaked in blood." My voice trembled. "Why me? Why involve me at all?" He studied me for a long moment. "Because you're the only one Adrian truly let inside. And the only one who can bring him down." My heart skipped. "Bring him down? I'm not a spy, I'm not." "You're the one he trusts," the father interrupted, his tone sharp. "That makes you the most dangerous person in his world." Over the next hours, he showed me files. Documents hidden away for years. Adrian's illegal investments. Politicians on his payroll. Judges bought like cheap pawns. But the worst was a video. Adrian, late at night, speaking to a man whose face was hidden. And Adrian's words burned into me. "No one will stop me. Not even her. If she resists, I'll make her disappear." My blood ran cold. He meant me. Tears blurred my vision. He was planning to. "Yes," the father said grimly. "And now, he'll come for you faster than ever." Just as he spoke, the sound of engines roared outside the mansion. Headlights cut through the rain. The father's face hardened. "He found us." I staggered to the window. Black SUVs swarmed the driveway, men spilling out with weapons in hand. Panic surged through me. "What do we do?" He reached into a drawer, pulled out a pistol, and pressed it into my trembling hands. "Survive." The door downstairs splintered with a crash. Adrian's voice thundered through the halls. "Where is SHE?" I clutched the weapon, my heart beating louder than the storm outside. Adrian appeared in the doorway, his perfect tuxedo torn, his face twisted in fury. "You think you can hide from me?" he snarled. His eyes darted between me and his father. "Both of you betrayed me." His father stepped forward, calm but firm. No, Adrian. You betrayed yourself. I warned you not to follow this path. And now look at you. Adrian's laugh was hollow, bitter. You don't get to lecture me. You abandoned us. You abandoned me. For a moment, silence. And then Adrian's eyes locked on me. You're coming with me?
Now.
He took a step closer. My finger brushed the trigger of the gun. And suddenly, I realized destiny had placed me between two men, both bound by blood, both broken by power. But only one decision would keep me alive. Adrian extended his hand. His father stood like a wall of steel beside me. The storm outside screamed. The fire crackled behind us. And I had to choose. My chest heaved, sweat mixed with tears. Was I willing to pull the trigger? Or would I let the monster I once loved drag me back into his cage? I raised the gun and whispered, "This ends tonight."